Lydia, first of all, I don't think it's unprofessional to say that we think you're fabulous.
Thank you.
And we love your style.
Thank you very much.
How do you feel that you have developed throughout TOWIE in terms of your style?
I feel like probably my style has stayed very true. I think growing up as a child, I was always really into like my style icons being Marilyn Monroe and Audrey Hepburn. I remember at 13, I had all my hair dyed bright blonde because I wanted to look like Marilyn. And I was always really into like vintage shopping. I think that probably my style has stayed true, but maybe my looks changed. I think like from TOWIE, like I chopped off all my hair and I used to have really long hair. And I'm not as brown as what I used to be. I used to be a bit orange. I used to wear a lot more makeup. Today I've got quite a lot on, to be fair, but I used to wear a lot more makeup. But my style, I think, has always been the same. As whenever I look back at pictures of me when I was younger, I was still wearing the same sort of clothes and style.
And when you decide what you're going to wear every day or for an event, do you consciously try and stay away from the more classic Essex look, like the other girls, that sort of bodycons and stuff?
Yeah. It's not more I stay away from it because I would never buy that because it's just not really my look. I kind of have my own style that I love and a look that suits me, and when I buy stuff it's just something that I automatically get attracted to. Something like a bodycon would never suit me and it would be nothing that I'd ever be attracted to. So it's just about something that I always like and I've always liked, and a style that's always been me, sort of thing.
And can you tell us a bit about how this amazing TOWIE experience led you here to having your own fashion range?
Well, I always knew that I was going to go into fashion. It was something that has always been a huge part of my life. My mum was a fashion buyer. My nan was a fashion designer. My aunt, everyone was in fashion. My family owned boutiques around East London. It was always like something that I grew up around. So I always knew that fashion was going to be my path, and that's what I wanted to follow. If TOWIE didn't happen, and throughout TOWIE, but the designing has just come along with it. I opened up my boutique a year ago, and I do all my buying for my boutique, and I absolutely love and thrive off that. And then I sat down and I thought, do you know what? I'd love to develop my own brand and my own range. I think that there's something that I could do that's not out there, and I could really put my stamp on something and be artistic. So I decided that was a new path of fashion that I wanted to follow, and now I've done it. It's the most amazing thing, and I see it as a career that I see myself doing for the rest of my life, really.
And obviously quite a lot of people look up to your style, and you've got this amazing fashion heritage.
Yeah.
What would be your top 3 kind of fashion disasters not to do, which is tips of things never to do?
I would probably say my tips that I personally would never do. I think that never have too much out there. I think that sometimes something that looks most sexy is something that's covered up and secretive, and leave people to wonder. So I wouldn't ever put too much out there. I think sometimes people go wrong, especially people with big boobs. Sometimes they have their boobs out and then they have their legs out, and sometimes it just looks, I think that sometimes that's something a lot more sexier than having it all completely out. That would be my first tip. My second tip would be always dare to brave. I think that sometimes people get very scared to break molds and to break trends because they think it's better to play safe, but I think it's always better to stand out, and for the right reasons, not because everything's on show, but for the right reasons. And yeah, I think that's probably one of my tips. And thirdly, never worry about being too overdressed, because I'm always too overdressed for everything.
And with TOWIE, there's no getting away from it. You are quite famous now.
Yeah, I suppose I am a little bit.
I know, it's a bit cringy to admit it, but you are pretty famous. What's kind of most surprised you about kind of being in this new world of celebrity?
I think initially everything surprised me. I think if I'd get invited to an event, I'd be like, what the hell, why do they want me there? If I'd meet celebrities, I'd be like, I'd be speechless, I wouldn't be able to say anything. People coming up to me in the street, I was like at the beginning, everything was a bit surreal, but I've been doing TOWIE now for 2 years, so it's become now part of my life, and it's something that I've got used to. Some things you never get used to, like if you go to, for example, like a festival, when you get up on the stage and there's like 30,000 people and they're all screaming, that you never get used to. But like things like people coming up to you in the street, it just becomes part of your life now, and it's become just like normal for me. But it's still amazing. Sometimes I look and I just still think, gosh, how did this happen? Like, because it was nothing that I ever wanted to go into. It was nothing that I ever thought was an option, because I never thought I'd be an actress or a singer. I've got the worst voice and I don't think I can act. So it was nothing that I thought would come. I didn't think I could become famous, or I never wanted to be famous for being me, because I didn't really think that was anything that I'd do. It's a bit surreal.
And leading on from that, what's been your personal favourite moment in the show, and what's one moment you wish you could take back?
I would probably say my worst moment in the show, or my worst part of the show, would be probably going through a breakup, because I think that's hard, going through a breakup anyway, and to go through it so publicly was really difficult, because of you feel pressure as well, because of that everyone's watching on you. I would probably say my best part of the show would either be when I got the pig, because that was the biggest shock of the life for me, and it was crazy, and it was amazing as well. It would either be the pig, or I'm trying to think of my best parts. I can't even remember. It becomes so normal. What's another? Oh, and opening my store, that was amazing. When I did the grand opening of my shop, because it was so much hard work, the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, trying to open up a business. So when it finally all came together and I did the shop opening and everyone came along, it was unreal.
And what was it like meeting a new boyfriend on the show? Were you ever tempted just to keep it under wraps, or did you feel like you had to?
Definitely, yeah. I think I was. I think when I first, I knew Tom when I was younger, living where we live. Everyone kind of gets to know each other, but I didn't really ever know him. I saw him out and about, but then getting to know him, I got to know him off camera. We wasn't filming at that point, so it was nice, because it was more like normal for us, because you get to know somebody without everything around you. So that was quite nice, because we were away and no one knew anything, and it was a secret sort of thing. So I think that, there was doubts whether I wanted to put it out there, because you automatically think, do I want everyone seeing everything, and will it cause implications? But it's part of being on the show, like part of being on a show like TOWIE and signing yourself up to a reality TV show. You have to put every part of your life out there, and you can't put half of yourself out there. When you're in a relationship, that's probably half of your life is dedicated to another person. So you have to work with them and show everyone the real you.
And it does seem like within the show, because it's such a tight-knit community, lots of rumours seem to constantly be flying around.
Yes.
What's it like being in the middle of that?
I'm quite lucky, because of a lot of the rumours never seem to include me. I think that's probably because I'm not as much as a gossip as some of the others. But yeah, it does get a bit crazy sometimes. I just try and keep out of all of it. It's never really an interest of me to get involved in the arguments. There's too much chaos in my life already.
So much chaos. And because you don't want to sing or act, what do you think you might do after TOWIE? Are you going to be the new Victoria Beckham with your fashion?
Yeah, I would love to be the new Victoria Beckham, but the affordable Victoria Beckham. I would love to carry on pursuing things with my fashion career, but I love working in TV as well. It's amazing, and hopefully if TOWIE was to end, I could do something that could collide the two together, my love for TV and my love for fashion, and I could do something in like fashion presenting or something. I've done things like presenting fashion shows, which I absolutely love. So hopefully it will be something that I could maybe do together, but who knows? I don't think you can ever really predict what the future holds, because I didn't even know I was doing TOWIE until a week before, and now look where it is. So I think I just wait and see what opportunities come my way.
And as I was leaving the office, I was like, who's got questions for Lydia? And someone shouted, what do they do between series?
Do you know what? Between series, it's more chaotic than when you're filming. Between series, it's you do a lot of campaigns with companies, all your photo shoots, you like your business and things like that. When I'm not filming, I use that time really to focus on my business and develop it. I do a lot of photo shoots for my business and for campaigns. You do modelling campaigns, you do everything. Like, it's even more chaotic when filming's not on. But everything's chaotic always with our lives. But do you know what? It's amazing. I wouldn't have it any other way. I couldn't have a day off. If I have a day off, I get bored. So I thrive off the busyness.
And with the series ending, sort of getting towards Christmas, do you think we might see a Christmas engagement?
With me and Tom, I don't know about me and Tom if we're going to get engaged yet. I think that we've spoken openly on the show about marriage, and we say about how much we love each other. But I just think that there's too much going on to plan a wedding as well. We'd wait for a bit, see when we're settled down a little bit more, and then hopefully it will just come.
Would you ever have a double wedding with Lucy?
No, I think that when you have your wedding date, it's all about you. You can't share it with anyone else.
No.